Hello, my name is Maggie, and this is the first of 2 video tutorials that I'm going to be doing to show everybody how to make a little baby Santa hat. This is the Santa hat, the white part, it's going to be about it's going to be roughly about a 6-inch circle, and I'll be working mostly with single crochet and single crochet decrease. For those of you that are just learning how to crochet, I will do everything slowly, including how to do the slip knot, how to do the chain stitches, and whatnot. For both videos, the supplies that you'll need is to make sure, because if your needle is different than mine, which mine is a size K 6.5, and you can even go up to a 7 L or a 6J, and it would be roughly about the same. But if you're using something really small, then you'll have to adjust this some. So I would recommend having a measuring tape. This is actually a measuring tape like what you would measure your arms, your chest, or whatever for tracking weight loss and stuff. 1 to 6 using a size K hook and just regular red heart 4 yarn is 19 stitches. So that's what this particular video will be covering. You have to have some white yarn, some red yarn, of course your crochet hook, and this. It is a marker to mark certain places. Now, first thing you do is you make a slip knot, wrap it around your 2 fingers, pull this part with one finger, there we go, put that through, let that finger go, pick it back up again, and when you look at it, it looks like it could be an A or a horse halter, something like that. You take the little part that has your tail, hold it with those 2 fingers, pull it through the loop, tighten it down, and that's how, at least that's how I make them. If you can think of a different, easier way for you to make a slip knot, do it. Put your hook in the loop and pull it tight, and there's your slip knot. Now to get 19 stitches for this, you need to chain 19 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There's my 19 chain stitches. A chain stitch, once you get your yarn, your hook in your slip knot, you just wrap the chain around, hook it, and pull it through the loop, and that is a chain stitch. Now, typically if you're going to be working on a back and forth, just building it straight up, you would actually chain 20 chain stitches to get 19, because your first stitch always goes into the second chain from the hook. But because I'm doing a circular, I'm only chaining 19 because I'm going to join it back here, this stitch, to make a circle. I'm also going to start there as well. Which, to do that, you take your hook and you go all the way back to this first stitch, first chain stitch, push your hook through the stitch, bring your yarn, you can either bring it from this way, I always just take it from the top, hook it as you pull it through your chain stitch, and then you'll have 2 loops on your hook, and then you just hook the first loop and pull it through the second one, and that is a slip stitch. It's the same no matter where you do it. That big around is how big it is. As you put your single crochet across through it, it'll actually get a little bit bigger. Now that you have your slip stitch done, chain 1 in the city of Cincinnati until further notice. Your car can be ticketed and towed if you don't move it off a snow emergency route. So and then you go back into that same stitch, that same chain stitch that you did your slip knot in. Hook your yarn over it again, pull it through, but this time you leave your 2 loops on your hook and then pull it through for a single crochet. Again, you go into the next chain, hook it, pull it through so you have 2 loops, hook it again and pull it through both, and that is a single crochet. One more time, stick it into the chain, hook your yarn, pull it through, you'll have 2 loops on your hook, hook it and pull it through twice. Now pull your hook out a little bit and pull the loop out a little bit. And if you look at your work, you'll see you have 1, 2, 3. 3 little V-shaped stitches on top. Those are the stitches that you'll need to worry about as we go. But now you need your marker. Your marker will go right here in this first stitch. So here's 1, 2, 3. You put it through one side of the V and then pull it back through the other side, and then just let it sit there. Some people will, some people won't need to use the marker for something like this. I use it because specifically working with single crochet, since it's only a chain 1 to start your next row, it's always easy for me to forget where my rows stop and where they start. And then you just continue to do your single crochet around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. There is 19 stitches. That's about how big around it'll be. This will be, like for my cousin, perfect for sticking on top of a baby food jar, or something little like that, depending on who's watching. Now to go to the next row, because you're only doing 2 rows of white, So to join, you go to the next row of white. You can take your marker out, and you don't have to go and buy them. You can use paper clips, you can use safety pins, anything that you can slide right in there to mark your place. Take your hook, and that V that you had your marker in, you push it through both of those so it looks like you have 3 loops on your hook. The stitch and then the loop. And then you do a slip stitch. Bring your yarn around, pull it through the stitch so you have 2 loops, pull the first loop through the second for a slip stitch. Chain 1 time, and right there, right in the same stitch that you did your slip stitch in, put your hook in again, hook your yarn, pull it through so you have 2 loops, hook your yarn and pull it through both. I know this looks kind of flat, but we're not going to be adding in any extra stitches. In fact, as we go up, we'll be decreasing stitches, so it'll actually turn and it'll look like it's going up. Now, if you pull your yarn out again, and again, if you can tell the difference where you start, where you stop, you don't have to use the marker. If not, once you do that one, you'll see right next to the yarn coming off is that little V shape. That little V shape is where you, once again, stick your marker. Put your yarn back in your loop, pull it tight, and then you just single crochet in every stitch that you already did. And when you're single crocheting into the next stitch, you just stick it through the V, the next little V shape on top. Stick it through both of those, hook your yarn, pull it through for 2 loops, hook your yarn and pull it through both. And that's it. That is the simplest crochet stitch that there is. That is the single crochet. While I do this round, I also want to say, I know at the beginning of this video I said it was going to be one of 2, but it's actually going to be one of 3. There may possibly be 4. I'll let you know as the other videos. And when I post them, it'll be one of 4, one of 3, one of 7, whatnot like that. But not only am I doing this in a series of videos to show you how to make this little Santa hat, but I'm also going to be doing a series of videos where I show you all the different stitches and stuff that you can do for crochet, and how to make some more of the simpler stuff. But I'll mostly be focusing on the different stitches that I learned, as well as the different stitches that I know. Patterns like this aren't going to be very common, but they will happen periodically. Now, this is also going to be 19 stitches. And as you can see from my marker, you count the stitch that your marker's in. You always count that stitch as a first stitch for that row. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm on 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. Now, it does look like you can do another stitch in between where you did stitch 19 and your marker, but you don't do that because that'll actually be adding a stitch, which is an increase. You stop at the 19. Now, go on to the next video, and the next video is going to show you how to do a seamless color change from your white to your red to do the rest of your Santa.